Hello and welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS. Welcome to another session of Indian Economy Essentials. And in today's session, let's have a discussion regarding one of the very important articles which has appeared in different newspapers, which discusses Government of India deciding to offload or sell more wheat in the market. Now, what I'm actually referring to, yesterday, Government of India, as Cabinet decided to offload 2 million tons more wheat in open market to cool down the prices. And this is not the first time that there is a discussion in the newspaper regarding wheat. You'll have to remember that. Second, this is not the first time in the last 1 year that Government of India has decided to sell more wheat in the market. But what is the importance of the article and what are the important points related to this concept which are relevant for civil services examination? Let's try and understand that. Point number 1. Government of India procures a lot of food grains. Remember that. Government of India procures means purchases a lot of food grains and stores it. Now this amount of storage that is done will be used for distribution purposes, also to keep it in the form of buffers. Remember this point. What is this idea of a buffer? More than what is actually required, government will procure the food grain and store it. Now some of you might simply ask, sir, why does government do it? What is the reason? If they require, let's say, 1 million ton, why are they procuring more than that? Is it not the waste of resources? You might be looking at this idea only from the financial perspective. But the importance of this idea of a buffer stock is there could be emergency in the situation, or let's say in the market, during which government should have sufficient amount of food grains to supply. Now this is point number 1. Remember this. Second point. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, I'm pretty sure you have come across a lot of discussion related to inflation. Within inflation, I'm pretty sure you would have discussed CPI, because for the month of November and December, CPI was below 6%, and suddenly for the month of January, it has gone beyond 6% rate, which is a cause of concern. And within this CPI inflation, one of the areas that has been a cause of concern, a headache for Reserve Bank of India, has been food inflation. And if I make it much more detailed, within food inflation, the headache actually has been the cereal inflation. Now, what is the basic idea for cereal inflation? The inflation rate, in simple terms, the price levels of some of the commodity cereals has been higher. For example, the price levels of wheat for the month of January was more than 25% year on year. It had increased by more than 25%. And this was not the only month. Do not be under the confusion that only in the month of January it has increased. Absolutely no. Even if you look at the data for the month of December, the inflation rate, or let's say the price levels of wheat compared to the previous year's December, had increased by 22%. So it is not new. It has been there in the system for many months right now. And looking at this itself, in the month of January, I'm going to third point now. In the month of January, Government of India decided, let's sell 3 million tons of wheat through Open Market Sales Scheme, OMSS, Open Market Sales Scheme. Now what is this idea of an Open Market Sales Scheme? I'll go back again to the point number 1. Whenever I say Government of India will procure food grains, I'm specifically focused on rice and wheat here. And when I say government procures the food grains, I'm talking specifically about Food Corporation of India. So here is the Food Corporation of India, which has purchased and has kept food grains which it will distribute to, let's say, state governments. And remaining buffer stock is available with FCI. Now, whenever there is a variation of the prices like this, that is when the prices of certain food grains are going beyond control, for example, wheat here, it is the Food Corporation of India which will auction, remember the term, which will auction. And as it is, whenever you talk about OMSS, weekly auctions are conducted by the Food Corporation of India. And in this case of auction, the food grains, that is wheat, is sold in the market to various intermediaries or various traders in the market. Now why? What is the reason? Reason is very simple. Whenever the wheat is supplied like this, the supply of wheat to the market in the economy will suddenly go up or increase. And when the wheat supply increases, the market prices of wheat as well as atta will automatically cool down. Now looking at the situation, that is the wheat prices have started going up again. In addition to this, there is certain more very important points you should remember here. One, like I already mentioned, the wheat prices for the month of January have been higher and already OMSS is being conducted. Now some of you would be wondering, sir, if for the month of January it is higher and already Government of India has conducted 3 million tons of OMSS or has announced 3 million tons, why has it announced further offloading of 2 million tons? What is the reason? What has changed now? In fact, if you look at the data, very recently Government of India said for the current cycle of cultivation, the wheat production is expected to be 112 million tons. Highest, 112 million tons, highest wheat production. But even then, why is the Government of India selling more wheat? Reason is simple. Further concerns regarding inflation is existing. What do you mean by this? Point number one. Very recently, IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, IMD has announced that there could be sustained, that is for many days, a rise in the day-to-day temperatures in some of the states. And the average that was given by IMD was in the range of 3 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius. And as a result of this, now there is an expectation that there will be a heat wave or there will be a higher temperature in the month of March. And please remember this, wheat generally is harvested starting from the month of March or after this particular period of cultivation. And when the temperature increases either by 3 degrees Celsius or 4 degrees Celsius, the amount of grains that would be developed will be very low or yield would be affected. Sir, any proof of it? Last year, right? Have a look at the data. Last year, the temperature in some of these wheat cultivation states increased in the month of March, by the way. And as a result of this, the yield of the wheat in these states has come down. And as a result of all of this, the overall cultivation of wheat last year has shrunk by 2.5%. And what is the impact of that? In the March, April, we harvested, and in the month of May, Government of India realized there could be shortage of wheat and exports limitations were imposed. Exports were restricted, not allowed to be done from India. So looking at all of this, and one more very important point is, now we are expecting the impact of El Niño as well on the Indian agriculture sector. So looking at all of these particular factors, Government of India decided, okay, despite higher acreage being brought under cultivation for wheat, despite expecting highest cultivation of wheat in the recent times, I will go ahead and I'll sell more and more food grains through OMSS, that is through Food Corporation of India, so that the supply of wheat will increase, the market prices will cool down, and it will help me in controlling inflation. So these are certain very important points regarding the discussion of OMSS and why Government of India has decided to supply or offload more wheat in the market. If you like our initiatives, please hit the like button, provide your valuable comments in the section below, and if you yet to subscribe to BYJU'S Exam Prep IAS YouTube channel, kindly do it right now. Thank you. Have a great day.